Very exciting to see Korea back on the world stage.
Back in China, and Koreans are here in force for the first time this season. As you can see, the athletes coming out for this gold medal match in the Recurve women's team event. Let's go straight down to the shooting line and welcome the contenders.
On target number 1, representing the Republic of Korea,
1号保卫韩国队
An San. Kang Chaeyoung. Lim Sihyun.
2号保卫中华台北队
On target number 2, representing Chinese Taipei,
郭子颖、雷天莹、彭家茂、
The line judge for this match is
体射线裁判
Shannon Russell Kite.
So Korea up against Chinese Taipei. Korea with triple Olympic champion An San in the lineup. She's lined up with Kang Chaeyoung and Lim Sihyun, a newbie on the Korean team, which I'm sure Chef will be talking about in great detail throughout today's coverage. Chinese Taipei line up from Kuo Ziying, Lei Jianying and Peng Chia Mao, two incredibly strong archery nations.
Yeah, we've over the years seen a lot of matchups between Korea and Taipei, and typically they are very close in level.
So lots of early communication, a key part of the team competition with Chinese Taipei, but it's going to be Korea to get us underway. What a start from the triple Olympic champion.
She seems unfazed by it, as if this is her default setting.
It's interesting to look at the lineup. They arguably the two stronger archers for Korea going first, and Kang going straight into the 10 as well. Early stages here, Chef, early morning as well. Just remind us how the scoring works in a team recurve competition.
So team recurve, each team shoots 6 arrows, so 2 arrows per archer. They get 2 minutes to do so. It's alternate shooting, so they start off with 1 arrow each, then the other team shoots 1 arrow each, and then they end up with 6 arrows per team. The higher score of the team, or the higher score in the set, will get 2 set points. Tight score will amount to 1 set point, and the first 5 or 6 set points will win the match.
5 the target.
9.
A little high from Kuo and Lei. Sorry, I should say Peng and Lei. Kuo shooting third, youngest member of the team.
9.
So the early stages is all about getting your eye in and getting into the centre of the target. And as you can see, Korea very well set up, but dropping low into the 8 there.
And for all the viewers who are not that familiar with archery, we're getting a very good look at the Korean team here, and especially the Koreans, the women's team is known to have pretty much textbook technique. So if you're getting into recurve archery and you think to yourself, how should I actually shoot? These 3 archers can show you really well what you should be aspiring to shoot like.
Well, 56 out of 60 is a cracking start, and it means that Chinese Taipei need 3 10s to share the points with Korea, otherwise they will go into a 2-point lead, and that is the case already. Sheffield, I'm going to ask this question a million times, hopefully over the period of time that you and I are commentating together. These arrows, they're dead, aren't they? Why do they shoot them?
So they shoot them because you can obviously use the information that you gather by shooting them. It's a good, well, you like to call it a sighter. So especially in the first end, if you're still looking for the correct sight mark on the finals venue, you can use these arrows without having any consequences of not hitting the middle. But it's also just to get in the groove of things. You can fire a nice shot without having to worry about what it will do or what it will mean to the rest of the set.
Yeah, settling now. As you can see, the Koreans, how did you put it? They right at home. It's default standard operating procedure.
Yeah, they do a lot of finals venues, obviously, because they shoot at such a high level. But I feel like even in their national competitions, they simulate something that is very similar to this. They also set up finals venues for local competitions or national competitions, which gets them used to these situations.
Very popular sport in Korea, but it is in Chinese Taipei as well. But I suppose it's the level of investment the Koreans are able to put in, and the level that they're shooting at, the standard that they shoot at, is so high that they can afford to miss the first stage in Antalya.
Yeah, they missed the first stage in Antalya because they were actually still selecting the team. So this team wasn't a given yet when we were in Antalya.
Now, teased it up at the top of the programme. There's a new member of this team as well.
Yeah, we've got Sihyun, and I tipped her off as the surprise of the season earlier this week, or actually before Antalya even. So
yes, one to watch, she said, Lim, and clearly you were right. She is right in this incredibly strong Korean team who lead Chinese Taipei by 2 set points to 0. Time for the start of the second set.
8.
So that's her third 8 on the right that she shot so far. So she was adjusting her sight, but maybe not doing it adequate. What's interesting here is the order of operations at the Chinese Taipei team, because we see Kuo shooting the third position here, and then the next rotation, at least that's what they did in the first set, the next rotation she'll probably open the rotation. So
protecting her in the middle of there's the least experienced on the team, protecting her in the middle 2 arrows?
Yeah, so they're putting her in the middle of the set, which is typically the least pressured situation.
Giving her more time to go through her process, of course, but also alleviating any pressure of having to shoot a high score right at the end.
Speaking of high scores,
they're back, aren't they, Korea?
Yeah, it seems like they
don't quietly walk through the back door, do they, when they return?
They just stomp it down.
9.
Take a look at the front hand now of Kuo. You can see the fingers move quite a lot when she is shooting. And I don't know if this is a mental cue or if this is something to keep her hand relaxed. But typically you'll see, well, Lei does a similar thing. She kind of makes a fist out of her hand while extending. But typically you'll keep your hand as relaxed as possible and not do too much with your fingers. They seem to have a different approach.
So outscoring their total in the first set by 2 points. Korea could get 59 with 3 10s here.
9.
We talked about the protection of Kuo Chaeyoung in the Chinese Taipei team. Not doing the same in Korea. It's the youngster who's anchoring.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is a decision to make her gain experience or if she's just comfortable in that last position. But they must have put some thought into this. But there's a lot of reasons to switch the team order around sometimes, and yeah, as an outsider, you're not really sure what those reasonings are.
Certainly showed no issues with shooting last there. Korea increased their set total by a single point, but the important thing here is they are 4-0 up, and with a target score of 5, Koreans could do this in 3 sets.
Yeah, and they have to only need to tie the next set to get the win in this match. So they're in a very comfortable position where if they just shoot a high score, they have a very good shot at this match.
Looking strong after 2 sets of Recurve archery.
She settled right into the team, hasn't she, Lim Sihyun?
Yeah, and I'm sure they know each other quite well by now because of their extensive selection procedure and their national competitions. Let's put it this way, I don't think this is the first time they have a conversation together.
No, I think you may well be right, but a little bit of an age difference, certainly between Kang and Lim. The youngster just 19 years old. And let's just put this in context. At the moment, has no will have a world ranking now after this competition, but came into it with no world ranking.
Will shoot first on target 2 when we continue.
No world ranking, but in the gold medal match with team, and also in the final 4s individually later today.
Yes. She's done quite well here, her first outing this season. Chinese Taipei, though, with Kuo, Lei and Peng staring down the barrel of a gun at 4-0 down. They start the 3rd set and need to outscore the Koreans to keep the match alive.
So interesting with the front hand here. The making the fist is almost a way to get that last bit of extension to get the arrow through the clicker by putting some tension in your hand and making your hand a bit harder. Normally you would not use your hand to get through the clicker. You would use your shoulders and arms, but if it's consistent, you could get that final squeeze in to do that last final bit of extension.
29th set at the halfway stage by Chinese Taipei. Certainly the best start to a set they've had.
And they will need a great start to the set because Korea only needs to tie them to win the match. So they need a high score.
So a real pressure arrow, this one, on the Korean youngster. Completely taking it in her stride. So Korea doing just what they need to. Certainly Chinese Taipei have stepped the level up a little bit here. Can they maintain it to get the 2 set points? I think an 8 is a bit of a disaster normally, but when you're up against the Koreans, it could be terminal.
Yeah, especially in this situation where they already have tied the first rotation of the set. And you know that they will probably shoot a high score in the second rotation as well.
Kang Chaeyoung finishes with a 7. This now looks very tricky indeed for Chinese Taipei. Oh, they are fallible. Still room for error here. They technically could get away with 3 8s here. 24 is enough.
9.
So a 7 for the win. Burden on the shoulders of Lim Sihyun. Puts it into the 10 for a 56 and a clear 6-0 win. There is really only one thing to say: Korea are back. Well, it's like they never went away, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was only one event that we didn't really see them because of their selections, as before mentioned. But yeah, well, like you said, it's as if they were never really gone.
Still the team to beat, that is for sure. And San on the right, Kang Chaeyoung in the middle, and the newbie Lim Sihyun taking gold for the Korean recurve women's team here in Shanghai. It's a brilliant return to the range for the Koreans, but not entirely unexpected.
No, we'll be seeing all of the Korean archers back in the individual matches later today.
The Republic of Korea walking away with the first gold medal. It's certainly not going to be the last, as it'll be a Final Four 100% Korean in the recurve women individual category later on this afternoon, where Kang Chaeyoung will take on An San at the start of the afternoon, and Sihyun will be up against Lim Sihyun in matchup number 2.
Well, there you go, the stadium announcer announcing those Final Fours that are coming up in the second session today. We, of course, in this session are focused just on the team medals. And it is the Korean trio who have topped the podium first on Recurve Sunday.
Chinese Taipei walking away with a silver medal, qualifying in second, shooting.
Well, there's always going to be some anticipation at your first World Cup of the season. Korea not present in Antalya. Debut in 2023 here in Shanghai, and what a debut it was, starting off with 29 through the first rotation in the first set. Really set the tone for the match. And Chinese Taipei, despite starting the third set very strongly indeed, just weren't good enough for this Korean trio featuring this newbie Lim Sihyun, teamed up with triple Olympic champion An San and Kang Chaeyoung for the recurve women's team gold medal here in Shanghai. Well, let's go and see what the Korean team have to say about gold here in China.
This is the first recurve medal of the day for Korea. Congratulations. The smiles say it all.
오늘 경기에 오늘 첫 이제 리커브 경기에 금메달 획득하셨습니다. 여러분의 미소가 승리를 의미하는데요. 소감 한마디 해주세요.
오랜만에 이제 상해에 와서 결승전을 했는데 그래도 저희 선수들끼리 즐기려고 했고 즐긴 만큼 좋은 결과가 나와서 더 기분이 좋고요. 앞으로 남은 한국 선수들의 경기를 응원합니다.
It's been a long time since in the Shanghai. We trust each other and we can make a mind enjoy the game. So that's why we have a good result. And then after that we cheer up our another men's team, mixed team.
You won the match in straight sets. You know, how was that today?
오늘 연속 그래서 세 세트 연속으로 6대 0으로 승리를 했습니다. 그거에 대한 소감 말씀해 주세요.
언니들이 너무 잘 쏴줘서 저도 믿고 따라갈 수 있었고요. 믿고 따라가니까 좋은 결과가 나와서 너무 기뻐요.
Yes, our Kang, Chaeyoung and Shan have a good performance today, so I can trust our another archers so that I can have good strong performance.
Do you think that this will be the same performance at the Asian Games today?
오늘의 경기력이 아시안 게임에서도 똑같이 발휘될 수 있을 거라고 생각을 하십니까?
아직 이제 앞으로 남은 월드컵도 있고 좀 시간이 많이 남아서 지금보다 더 좋은 경기력을 보여줄 수 있도록 저희는 더 연습을 해야 될 것 같습니다.
Yeah, we have enough time to prepare for Asian and Berlin World Championship, so we participate in the World Cup and many competitions, so we'll make a good result in the Asian Games.
Congratulations, girls.
Thank you so much.
It's always interesting to see the dynamic between the three members of an archery team. And there, I got the feeling that it's kind of like three sisters together, Kang being the oldest, leading things out, and then sort of handing things over. And you could see there's a dynamic, particularly between Kang and Lim as well.
Yeah, maybe Kang would be the oldest, but I feel like An-san is the serious, responsible one of the team. Yeah.
She's the sensible sister.
Yeah.
But there's a nod there to the Asian Games. Look, we talked about this being a very Asian-heavy a couple of sessions today in the recurve competition. Not massively unusual, but perhaps more so even than normal. But they have got this very important Asian Games coming up a little bit later in the year in Hangzhou, which does contribute towards Olympic qualification.
Yeah, so they'll definitely be looking at proper preparation, but also a good team dynamic and some good results leading up to it.
So women's team gold medal taken by Korea on their return to the international stage for the first time in 2023. And in just a very few short minutes, we will have the medal ceremony for that women's recurve team. Coming up after that, we turn our attention to the men's gold medal match between Korea, funnily enough, and China, the host nation. That should be a tasty matchup. After that, we'll have both the bronze and the gold medal matches in the mixed recurve team competition. That will conclude this particular session, but we've got the final fours in the men's and the women's competition coming up this afternoon.
The victory ceremony for the recurve women team.
Time now for the victory ceremony for the recurve women's team competition here at the second stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup in Shanghai, China.
Medals will be presented by Pudong New Area Deputy Mayor So Yimei. Gifts will be presented by Pudong New Area Culture, Sports and Tourism Bureau General Director Sun Yu. Bronze medal representing China.
Big cheer for the host nation. Lost out to Chinese Taipei 5-3 in the semi-finals before going on to beat Indonesia for bronze. Left to right, Anki Zhan, Heidi Gan and Zhang Menyao collecting bronze for China. Deputy Mayor giving out the medals. Deputy Mayor of Pudong, the region that we're in Shanghai, the commercial district. And it's the head of culture, sport and tourism handing out the gifts.
Representing Chinese Taipei.
You can always expect Chinese Taipei to perform well, especially in the recurve women's team competition. And having to settle for silver here. So the silver medalist sporting a newbie, quote, Chaeyoung, Lei Chenying and Peng Chiamao in second place here in Shanghai.
And now, gold medal, representing the Republic of Korea.
Oh, they've always got something special on the podium. The first time of asking for them at the second stage of the Hyundai Archery World Cup. The Korean recurve women's team straight back to the top of the podium. And San, Kang Chaeyoung and Lim Sihyun. They have absolutely come back onto the international circuit and reasserted their position right at the top of the rankings. And certainly not the first time, and almost certainly not the last time they get to celebrate with their national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the national anthem of the Republic of Korea. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause to our athletes.
So an Asian lockout on the podium in the recurve women's team competition. China taking the bronze medal, Chinese Taipei with silver, and Korea mark their return to the international stage in 2023 with the gold medal